here's the thing. You're not wrong about anything you've said because personally, conceptually, the red light district is the exact opposite of anything I want to do.
Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my dear friend and co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, why are you already dancing over there, man?
I'm very excited.
Oh.
I'm excited and scared. I'm excited because of our guest, and I'm scared because of our guest.
Hey, spoiler alert, we're not there yet, okay?
I know.
We're not there yet.
The last time this particular guest was on, you and I got clobbered so hard.
This is true.
That it was hard to even rationalize continuing to do a show after that.
That could apply to so many different guests we've had on the show, though.
That's
so
a good point,
it's still a big mystery for who we have on yet. But what are you drinking tonight, Preston?
I am drinking your favorite drink, as is known by everybody, a Moscow Mule. Everybody knows Moscow Mules are your favorite, and everybody should only ever get you Moscow Mules.
It is canon.
Yeah.
Nice. That looks quite refreshing. You have the proper mug and everything.
That we do.
And weirdly, your guest, or our guest, seems to be drinking the exact same thing. We are joined this week by crowd favorite Lauren Thompson. Lauren, how are you doing, and what are you drinking tonight?
Ooh, I am drinking the same Moscow Mule made by yours truly.
Yeah, she made
the 1 year anniversary of my first drafted podcast.
Yeah, this is Lauren Thompson's first drafted appearance.
That's true. That's true.
Lauren Goldfuss came on last time, and then we killed her and moved on to the better, more improved version.
Yeah,
well, you thought this would be less of a threat because I have taken your last name.
It's true. I thought I'd make you dumber.
How wrong you are.
I do think by the time the episode aired, though, that she was Lauren Thompson, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think. But yeah, when we recorded, she was not yet.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I am drinking a gin and lemonade, which is not like a real drink, I know, but my parents were in town for a couple days this week, and they got me some gin.
Ooh.
Because they do know that I do like gin. And then I'm trying to clear out my fridge before my roommates get back because I need to consolidate the amount of space I was taking while they were gone for 3 weeks before they get back tomorrow. So I'm just trying to like kill some birds with some stones over here. And I, since we're talking about my parents, you know, my parents are my mom specifically says every time she talks about Drafted.
What's that?
She's like, I love Drafted. Preston's so funny.
Wow. That, oh my God. The ego is going through the roof right now.
And I'm like, hello, your son is also on the same podcast.
It was a little crazy when I went to go visit your parents, and she understood every nook and cranny of the Drafted canon.
Yeah.
Like she knew all the little references. She knew all the weird little jokes, stuff that I'd even forgotten. She knew when she made us dinner one night to not make me certain dishes because I had said so on the show. It was pretty incredible.
Well, I've said this before, but to be fair, she did listen to a bunch of episodes like right before meeting you. So it wasn't like she had like them filed away from years before. She did like a bunch of she did a cram session. She crammed for the exam.
I got
Also, can you please make sure Lauren's okay? It looked like she was choking.
It looked like she was gonna die, and I think the performer in me outranked the husband in me, and I was like, just power through. She's like passing out. What happened? Wrong pipe?
You know, ginger can be very spicy, my
ginger.
friend.
Oh yeah. That's why the ginger can get you sometimes. Are you okay though, Lauren?
You're in the pipes for some good vocals.
Okay.
I think she was having the same concern where if she like coughed, I wouldn't be able to like edit it out.
Preston was complaining about our fancy metal straws earlier, saying that he had to work too hard to get the drink out of the straw. So I was testing it out, and I, took up
and
a
you
little
nearly
too
died.
much.
You nearly died.
What do you mean you have to work too hard to get the straw to work?
There's tiny straws. The opening is so small.
They're so bougie.
But for just us, nobody came over today. Why would we use them when nobody's here?
I know this is not like we don't have a video version of the podcast, so you guys can't see. But Lauren, even though that she's drinking the exact same drink as Preston, looks so much fucking cooler. It's not even funny.
It's because of the big metal bendy straw.
It's because of the straw. It's 100% because of the straw.
Yeah.
What are we drafting today, Preston? Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Well, we did the wedding.
Yes.
Now we're doing the honeymoon. of.
Oh,
To be fair, Lauren and I we took a honeymoon before this, but still,
yeah,
in canon, that's what's
yeah.
happening.
You guys went on your honeymoon right after your wedding.
We did.
Like the day after, if I recall.
And I think,
Ever.
yeah, the best cure to a hangover, which I almost certainly should have had, is knowing that you're about to land on an island where everything's going to be free. It's your body just overcomes the feelings of being hungover at that point. You're like, oh, I feel great.
Retroactively free.
Retroactively free. It wasn't free. It was free from that day on.
You didn't have to pay. You didn't have to pay for it again.
Free.
You didn't have to pay any money after that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of that, tonight we are drafting the worst possible vacation. I don't think we're going to call it a honeymoon because, to be honest, I wouldn't go to any. The honeymoon should be like, I'm not here to see anything or learn about American history. I'm not here to like visit an ancient. No.
Sorry to all of our married friends who bonded over their love of American history. You don't get to have fun on your honeymoon.
No, of course not. So we're going to call it a vacation. We're drafting the worst possible vacation. It's based on the online outlet Best Life, their list of the 50 most overrated tourist attractions on the planet. And there's something we got to get out of the way first here, Dan. We can't go a second further.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right about this.
Don't look at this list.
I believe it's number 47.
42.
42.
This is a garbage list.
Number 42, Pig Beach, the island of Exuma.
First of all, that's not even what it's called.
No, it's not.
It's Pig Island.
It's called Pig Island, and we would know because we were there. Damn it.
Right.
We went there. That is where we went for our honeymoon, and it's on the top 50 most overrated destinations. So I'm feeling a little suspect.
Attacked.
Don't like pigs and you don't like islands. It might be overrated.
If it's not grabbing you by the name or the picture or the idea, then yeah, don't go. Don't worry about it.
It's pretty straightforward.
But there are a lot of pigs there and they run right up to you. And I'm like, yeah, that's why you go.
Well, I was curious about this. I mean, I want to know how you guys would react if I draft this in my draft.
I told Preston earlier, if Daniel knows what's good for him, he won't go near Pig Island with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I do know what's good for me. So I can't see myself picking it. Although I considered doing it, maybe not to give anything away, but I considered doing it just for the entertainment factor because I do feel like I would have gotten a good reaction of you guys.
You have
worth it.
One less guess.
I also considered throwing you off a bridge just for the entertainment factor. Yeah, not worth it.
That would get a lot of hits. That would go real viral.
Listen, they put you on a boat. The boat, regardless of what time of day it was.
The pigs put you on the boat?
No. Some nice gentlemen put you on a boat. There's beer. Free beer.
Okay.
It was like 9:30 in the morning.
No safety rules.
You can
get up and walk around.
There's no seatbelts.
Sit on the bow of the boat.
They take you to where a bunch of sharks are. We saw some barracudas and stuff. And then we went to Pig Island, where there's a bunch of pigs and piglets, and they take care of them. So we learned how to you bottle feed the pigs and stuff. And then some stingrays just swim up to you. You can take some pictures with some stingrays.
And there's plenty of pigs to go around.
Yeah.
So what these people are complaining about.
There was like 10 people on the boat. It was great.
I'm the first one to have my hopes let down by any kind of event that I've built up in my mind. And I can tell you that Pig Island lived up to the hype.
It was absolutely worth it. It was so fun.
That's good. I'm glad you guys had that moment. And don't let this list take it away from you, you know?
Yeah, we can move on.
Don't want to do that. I do want to ask, have you guys been to any other place on this list? I've been to exactly one of the 50. Only one.
I've been to several and I disagree with
oh boy,
quite a few.
I've been to
this might be an interesting draft then.
I've been to maybe 3. It's probably like or maybe 4. Probably the 4 you'd expect.
Oh wow.
We can cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
See what you guys come up with.
I only know of one that Lauren has been to, I think, other than Pig Island. So okay, so we'll get to discover some things about each other then as we get to them.
Isn't that the real purpose of this show?
Bring us all closer together.
Bring us closer together.
Anyway, the draft order, as determined by random.org just now. Preston, you have the first pick. Oren has the second pick, and I have the third pick. And then, of course, as always, snake style draft. So the order will reverse on even rounds. Lauren is distraught that she does not get pick number 1. I wouldn't be worried about it, Lauren. I mean, you see Preston's list though, so maybe you should be worried about it.
To look.
Yeah, she can see my entire strategy on the other monitor here.
We have some
overlap.
Similar.
We have some
thoughts.
overlap. I'm gonna try and be less predictable as we go.
All right, well let's get this underway. I am curious to see where this goes because I kind of had a hard time choosing which ones were worst. There didn't feel like a lot of no-brainers to me, but maybe I'm wrong on this. So Preston, take us away. What's the first pick of the worst vacation destination draft?
I've got a clear no-brainer.
Oh, really?
No question. And I think we should state here, travel is not like a huge
factor.
concern.
Yes.
Yeah, just because you're going from like LA to like Fiji doesn't mean like you have to hop. Just kind of imagine these places are all able to be lumped into the same vacation.
You can teleport to each one.
Sure. There you go. So that being said, I don't believe in the spirit of Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA, and I'm taking the Hollywood sign as the worst possible beginning to a vacation.
Damn.
This is one I have been to, and it is a massive letdown. It's a billboard that overlooks an incredibly crowded highway. And even if travel was a concern, which it's not, this is an impossible thing to get to. I mean, getting anywhere in that part of LA is just nearly impossible, but it's just ugly. It's just a billboard. Like it's bad. I can say from personal experience, it's bad. And I can tell that I think Lauren was going to take that first.
Well, here's the thing. LA is a trash city. Sorry if we have any LA listeners. Really apologize. But just seeing the Hollywood sign was so traumatic for my stomach. Like weaving up those mountain roads to get up there. Woo!
Bad.
Good pick, babe.
Thank you.
Lauren, you're supposed to say why it's a bad pick so you can.
No.
Bad.
No,
pick.
it's good. It's
Miley
wonderful.
was right all along. How dare you?
Miley was not right particularly about this. No.
Yeah, I have not seen the Hollywood sign. I've never been to LA. It was high on my list though. It just seems like something you can see from afar and not really care about it one way or the other.
It looks better in pictures than it does in person, which is a hard thing to find. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a very solid first pick there, Preston. All right, Lauren, I know you had that pick taken away from you, but how are you going to follow it up? You now have the second.
I got to do some work now, but I feel like my second pick is pretty strong.
Okay.
You know what? I might switch it up a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm feeling risky today. I'm going to go with my first pick. And this was tough because if we're doing this in the guise of honeymoon, none of these are ideal picks. They're not at all romantic, but
apart from Pig Island, surely,
of course,
certainly.
But bad tourist attraction, I'm gonna go Graceland, Memphis.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Ooh, doggy! I have been to Memphis several times, and it does disappoint.
The whole city? Goddamn. Lauren, we're just trying to roast the destination.
Let her go
in. Lauren is going for whole cities here. Goodness.
Redeeming qualities. Bless my bridesmaid, Melissa. Love her to death, but she lived in Memphis for a few years and I visited her, and there are redeeming qualities to the city. It has a beautiful little up and coming neighborhoods, but Graceland, love me some Elvis, don't get me wrong, but
not it.
That is not one that I'm going to spend my time on.
Yeah, I went on the TripAdvisor or something for this because I was like, I bet like diehard Elvis fans still like it because it's all about the guy. And the reviews from the diehard Elvis fans were still like, this place is terrible.
How much does it cost to get in though?
That's a good question.
Pretty penny.
That also depends. That changes some things. Oh my goodness, y'all! It's $50 to get in there.
That's
$50 to look at an Elvis suit.
It's not nearly as bad as some of the other stuff. We won't bring up how much Pig Island was. The Pig Island excursion was pretty expensive.
Okay, but
but you got free beer out of that. Do you get beer at Graceland?
I think I caught up on those expenses. Yeah, thanks to the free beer.
Yeah, this one was high on my list as well. I just can't imagine it being interesting at all unless you really are obsessed with Elvis. And Preston is saying even the people obsessed with Elvis think it's maybe a bit of a ripoff.
Doesn't seem like it.
Google him. You'll find out.
Yeah, Google him.
Yeah, I like the pick. Apologies to the city of Memphis and the city of Los Angeles, though.
No,
Lauren
listen, Dan,
is
let her
scorched
loose.
earth tonight.
Sorry.
Let her loose. It's time to alienate significant portions of our audience. Let's do it. They've been hanging around for too long.
Lauren is on the podcast, but she does not speak for Drafted. Okay, her opinions are her own.
That's fair.
I like that.
Okay, I think that's a fine pick. I think both of those are good picks. I am going to go. Oh man, now you guys really have me doubting myself because I had very different ones in my in my top tier. Yeah. All right. With my first pick, I am going to go. I'm going to stay in the United States because that seems to be the valuable move here early, and I am going to go with the Mall of America.
Great choice. Great choice. It's a mall.
But what if it has the world's biggest Annie Ann's?
Does it?
I don't know, but what if it does?
I mean, listen,
It
I don't like the attractions that are on this list that are attractions where you go and then the experience
Is shopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is to shop at the stores that are everywhere else.
Yeah, I do, to maybe knock my own pick here a little bit. I do think there's like some sort of weird theme park in the Mall of America, like you can ride a Ferris wheel or something.
Very
Or a
underwhelming.
roller coaster.
Very underwhelming.
Oh, have you been here, Preston?
No, but I did my research before this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that just like you go on a vacation, particularly a honeymoon, and you go to the Mall of America. I mean, it's not for me.
That's
it's not
rough.
for me. I don't go on vacation to shop. At least not at like, international box stores,
American Eagle.
Yeah.
And so
Ta-da.
okay, I think I'm gonna follow that up by going to Times Square with my second pick.
You're striking a theme here that I think is very
no.
valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, that was this. I was deciding between the Hollywood sign and Times
Basically
Square
just an
for the
outdoor
first
mall.
pick. It's an advertisement.
Yeah.
Like it's iconic for all the wrong reasons. It is corporate sponsored tourism.
Yeah, it's bad. I've been to New York 2 or 3 times, and I've never had any desire whatsoever to spend a second in Times Square. And the only thing I think you could say is maybe redeeming. Like, I feel like it might be kind of cool if you do New Year's Eve in Times Square, like you're there for the ball drop, because that could, I think, maybe be a fun experience. But that, I think, is like the absolute peak. And even then, you're surrounded by like lots of drunk assholes.
Yeah.
In Times Square, there's just so many goddamn people there. I just can't see it. I just can't see it being enjoyable really in any way other than saying that you've done it, which to me is lame. It's not fun.
I think it holds a certain ambiance for the first time New York City goer. I was very, as a young lady, amused by Times Square when I first arrived. I was like Annie, stepping off the bus.
Small town girl.
With my
$2.
suitcases. It's
One bag.
$3.
$3.
2 bags.
2 bags.
One me.
Sorry, got it wrong. I mean, listen.
It's got to be cold. It has to be winter though. Don't
Sure.
go there in the summer.
Snowing, maybe.
It smells
That's
nasty.
nice.
It's rank.
But it's the other stuff on this list are either like naturally occurring things, like beaches or canyons or waterfalls or something, or like ancient man-made structures, like massive temples. This is like, it feels like you have walked into some sort of like Black Mirror episode being in there.
Have you been to Times Square?
Yeah.
Have you gone in the 6-story Forever 21 that just goes down and down and down into the depths of the earth?
No, I have not. That sounds fun.
I feel like you would particularly like that.
The Ruby Falls of department stores?
You have a
No.
little PTSD.
Yeah, I have not done such a thing.
There is so much to do in New York City and so much actual culture that I just feel like I no offense, Lauren, but I feel like you're wasting your time there and in Times Square. Go to one of the museums, go to Central Park, go do any of the millions of other things that New York has to offer.
I think that I've ever been to a museum in New York.
Really?
And I've gone a bunch.
They're good.
They're the best museums in the world.
Which museum do
I
they
think
even
so.
have?
The Natural History Museum.
Natural History Museum is incredible.
I don't know.
The Met, and
Well, I've been to the Met. Come on.
that's a
An
museum.
opera singer.
That's a museum. So, and then what? MoMA is another. I mean, it's like the most iconic museums in the world. You know. Yeah.
All
right. Okay. All right, Lauren. I'm sorry to have upset you there and ruined your formative Times Square moment, but you do have the next pick.
All right. This is an easy one. I feel like I'm gonna go with Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll notice it's not on my list.
There's no reason in
It's not on your list, Preston.
No.
green country to go to Mount Rushmore. Why in the world, of all the beautiful places that you could go to in the Midwest, why in the world would you go to a giant statue of 4 dead white guys?
Because here's the thing. I mean, the important factor here to remember is that you can teleport there, right?
But it doesn't matter.
Travel is not a thing,
Okay,
which means
so
it's nice to look at.
It's nice
I don't think
to
it
look
is.
at. You know
I
what
don't
else
think it
nice to
is.
look at? The Badlands, all of
Right.
the other national parks within an hour
Yeah.
of Mount
But in terms of the
Rushmore.
things that are on this list, the experience is viewing it, maybe
No.
walking around the park a little bit, and that's at worst a neutral experience.
You
No,
know, half the
this is
days
fine.
you can't even see it half the days because of the fog. It's like San Francisco. You can't see it.
I think Mount
I will
Rushmore's
say,
fine.
I think the bigger knock against Mount Rushmore is one that it's like a desecration of
Correct.
a natural thing, but I believe holds significance to native tribes.
This is correct. So I want to make it clear here. I'm not defending Mount Rushmore as a concept.
Sounds like you are a little bit.
I'm definitely not. I'm saying
Sounds
it's
like
just
you are.
not one of the 6
Two-
worst things on this
But
list.
is it cooler to look at than what would have been there?
No, well,
Certainly
and
not.
here's the thing. I have not seen it myself, but it is frequently said that I see anyway that it is extremely underwhelming because it is much smaller than you think it is.
Ooh.
So it's not in any way a mountain, and so like it's very small, underwhelming, and just frankly fucking weird. So I think this is a great pick by Lauren. Preston is being way too defensive of Mount Rushmore.
He's so political.
It's true.
Trying to
I mean,
defend our
I don't
forefathers.
think it would be like a bad experience. I think it would just be like, man, that's kind of a bummer. But like some of these would be actively bad experiences.
Can you even go on top of Mount Rushmore? Like, you know how we could go on top of Stone Mountain?
You can't go on top of Mount Rushmore. Are you
What's
saying
the
you
point
like?
of the mountain you can't go on top of?
Do you like Stone Mountain, the Confederate version of Mount Rushmore, better than Mount
It's not
Rushmore?
even on this list.
This is true.
Stone Mountain should be on this list.
It should be, but it's probably not like well known enough to warrant being on
that's
this
fair.
list.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think that's a good pick, Lauren. Don't listen to your husband. All right, Preston, you have back-to-back picks here, sir.
I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here, I think, because I think I'm like just saying personally.
Riskier than vehemently supporting the existence of Mount Rushmore?
I did not. Okay. This is a lost cause. I can feel the Discord people typing now. I can just see insert name is typing ... Oh my God.
It's DJ Khaled all over again.
No, don't make me do this again. I'm going to take the red light district of Amsterdam.
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
I know we're not strictly in the honeymoon theme, but specifically for a honeymoon, this would be pretty bad. Like, what are you going to do?
Come home with disease.
Come on. You know,
What are you
it's
gonna do to
2022. There are modern relationships.
I mean, if it's your
Don't
thing, it's your
kink
thing.
shame.
If it's your
Yeah.
thing, it's your thing. But like the research I did on this place in particular, having not been there, is that
research.
research, quote unquote, field research, not field research,
Yeah, okay.
internet research,
Choose your words carefully here, Preston.
is that it's just conceptually, I think it's fine. I'm not trying to shame anybody for what they're into, but it's very gross and dangerous, like actively dangerous. So that's why I have it as a vacation destination.
Why is it dangerous?
You could get hurt. What do you mean? Why is it dangerous?
Get hurt by what?
It's just apparently it's very like seedy and slimy. Do you want me to look up the description of what they put in the list we're using here?
Oh, here, I can pull it up.
Whoever wrote this article is highly.
The red light district is something else entirely. It's seedy, dirty, stinky, and completely charmless. While you might feel the need to see it, don't plan on spending too much time there. You're much better off exploring the hip Jordan district, admiring the art at blah, 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 blah. So seedy, dirty,
Seedy.
stinky, and completely charmless.
Sounds like someone's a little prude.
Yeah, I'm with Lauren. I'm with Lauren. Both the writer and Preston, I think, fit that description. I did not have admittedly the red light district on my list.
Really? Oh, that feels
I did
bad.
not.
I did have it on my list. I'm not gonna lie.
I did not have it on my list. I think even if it's true, I think the reaction is going to be what Lauren and I are jokingly doing, which is saying you're a prude. I think people will be like, no, man, you can like do drugs and have fun there, like even if you're not buying prostitutes. But I mean, you're probably right, but I just think maybe at this point in the draft, like the gut reaction from voters and listeners is, I think, not going to be a strong agreeing reaction with you.
Okay.
It's my gut instinct.
And you don't do anything.
I'm a
cool.
nerd. I'm a prude. Yeah, got it.
Have a little fun next
From
time.
my own wife telling me to have a little more fun. That's
All right.
what you want.
So here's my question, Preston. Would you rather go? It sounds like you'd rather go to Mount Rushmore than the red light district. Is that true?
I mean, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Okay.
here's the thing. Personally, here's the thing. You're not wrong about anything you said, because personally, conceptually, the red light district is the exact opposite of anything I want to do. It's like,
Hey, that's fair.
listen, my ideal Friday night is like pizza, board games, and there's like,
Geography.
game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals is on TV. And then there's a Kim Burns documentary about Mount
Jesus,
Rushmore.
how late are you staying up?
Oh, on a night like that, till dawn, baby.
Nine.
Yeah, my goodness.
So yeah, till at least 9:30. So no, the red light district is just not my particular cup of tea. But I still think it holds true that for the people where it is their cup of tea, it's still not the best place you can accomplish those things.
No,
It's
probably not.
bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've broken down that selection enough. What's your next pick, Presto?
I'm Googling something really quick that I think is going to confirm my next pick.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
We can probably edit this out and
No.
post.
We don't need to edit it out because it's fine. People need to know that I was sure of myself when I did it.
Okay.
And I'm going bold again because I'm
Oh,
just
boy.
going true to my personal feelings here. I'm picking the Mona Lisa.
No, that's a great pick. That's a much better pick than red light.
Thank you. I have seen them. Well, here's the thing. I've been to the Louvre and I have seen the quote Mona Lisa in person.
Hmm.
It is apparently never the actual painting. Like they
What?
never actually display the actual Mona Lisa, which is what I was just Googling. It's like most
That can't be
often
true.
the one exposed to audiences is a replica.
Then why the fuck are people going there?
I
What
don't
the fuck?
know.
What the hell?
This is what I'm
you know how
saying.
long I waited in line to see the Mona Lisa?
Where's the real? Lauren probably saw the real one. Where the hell is the real one?
Great. I probably did. It was really small. I remember that much.
I'm
Yeah.
double checking my work here. Is the Mona Lisa displayed in public the real copy?
What's the point of having the real copy if it's not on display anywhere?
It must be the real copy on display, right?
Pretty small. It's only like, I think it's like 9x12 or something.
Yeah, you'd think they'd at least put like a enhanced large version up for people to see if they're not going to put the real one out there. Preston's still researching.
We've lost him.
It's okay. Here's the thing.
Down the
It's
rabbit
tough.
hole.
It's tough to tell. The real argument here, though, is I did go, and there are so many people trying to see it that, as Lauren said, this like 9x11 thing, you can't get closer than like 60 feet to it.
That is the number one spot to get pickpocketed in Paris. is
People just
standing
wait.
in front of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
I was looking at that and someone was just like bumping into me like 7 times.
right.
Not fun. Not ideal. Good pick.
Thank
Solid.
you.
This is a good pick. I think this is a good rebound from your red light district. Yeah, I just like honestly, the Mona Lisa isn't even like, I understand that like technically it's good art, but like there's nothing exciting about it.
She
Maybe
ain't
this
all that.
maybe this is a hot take, but like
Mona Lisa bad.
it's just a small portrait of an unknown woman who's like largely
No.
unspectacular. And I think isn't the reason that it's super famous more so because like it's been stolen a bunch of times? Like it's not even like there are so many better, more awe-inspiring works of art, in my opinion. that you
Correct.
can see in the same museum as the Mona Lisa.
Like Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Awe-inspiring.
Yeah, what a beautiful work of
They're
art.
probably the ones who stole it.
Mount Rushmore stole the Mona Lisa. You heard it here first.
In Mount Rushmore.
No, the actual mountain.
I knew what you meant.
Just for you two, everything I just said about the Mona Lisa not being real apparently is
Not correct.
yeah. So
Oh,
I will take that.
No, you better leave that in.
No,
I'm
taking
gonna
it
make
out.
I'm making so many references to you being wrong about that. You're not gonna be able to take it out.
Don't make me keep it
Fake
in.
news media.
You have to keep it in. You have to keep it in.
Oh, fine.
All right. It's fine. We all learn something.
Oh, this is a tough-
Learning things, Preston, is never something to be ashamed about, okay? Never.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
All right, Lauren.
Oh
You're
my
up.
gosh. All right. We've already covered how much California sucks. I feel like I don't need to reiterate that.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to make a jump across the big blue ocean.
Okay.
I'm
Which
going
one?
to go
Yeah, there's several of them.
the one
Nope.
that we're closest to.
Okay,
Okay. The Atlantic Ocean. We do record on the East Coast.
gotcha.
Exactly. I'm going to go with the Guinness Storehouse in Dublin.
Really?
Yes.
I think I know why you picked this one.
Let me tell you why. Guinness is gross.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Nasty, garbage, dark, weird, chocolatey, sour beer, and it's not redeemable. And there's not a bad chance in hell that I would fly all the way to Ireland and spend a second of my time drinking that gross boobly gap.
What if you get to teleport there in seconds?
No.
It's specific to Lauren because
I
why would you
can't.
tour a museum of a thing you hate drinking?
But why would
Like-
okay, no, hear me out. I'm gonna appeal to the masses here. Why sorry to all of the Daniel, I don't know if you know our friend Kevin, but he loves him a Guinness.
Kevin loves him. Yes.
And that's where my hatred started, was watching him drink it. Like, but even if you do love a Guinness, like Ireland, yeah, they've got Guinness, but like it's like going to Atlanta and going to the Coke Museum. Like it's known for being
People do that. Lots of people
We
do
do
that.
that. We did that like 3 weeks ago.
But was it the best thing you could have done in the city?
I mean, no.
No, it's a tourist trap. Why
Yeah,
would you
it is
want
a
to go
tourist trap.
there?
It is weird.
It's not authentically Atlantan, and it's not authentically Irish to go to the Guinness Museum.
It is weird when we did the World of Coke. A thought crossed my mind of like, this company has gotten us to pay for us to come in and learn more about the company. It's gotten us to pay to come in and watch advertisements.
Even if
They're like,
you
that's
do
quite a racket. And I think the
Guinness.
Guinness thing is probably the same.
Dublin is so beautiful, and the whole country is so beautiful. Like, just why would you spend a second in a dirty factory that smells like yeast?
It's also like $100 to do a tour.
Oh,
of the Guinness.
no.
Is it really?
That's what it says on the
If
thing.
you respect
Wow.
the Irish people at all, don't even think about
Well,
it.
as we know, Daniel definitely does not respect the Irish
What are you
people.
against the Irish?
Okay, come on.
Talk about isolating listeners.
I thought for sure that would only be a recurring joke on Tad episodes. I was not armed. Did not have my defenses up for that at all.
Like the Irish?
Daniel hates Irish people. I'll fill you in
Is he
later.
not Irish?
No.
I am.
love
There's
Irish.
definitely Irish in me, for sure.
And that's that's the part of him he resents the most.
You're
Yeah.
Irish.
Very
I
self-loathing.
like you.
He doesn't like me when my Irish tendencies come forward. Yeah. Yeah.
What Irish tendencies?
My
Yeah,
Your temper.
yeah, Preston. What are
Your
your Irish tendencies?
temper.
What are your Irish tendencies? Now I can't wait to get to flip this on Preston, or Preston's actually the horrible racist against Irish people.
After his
Lauren,
lucky charm.
I'm trying to think of Lauren's being super inappropriate right now. She says that my temper is my Irish tendency because they're after my lucky charm.
They're after your lucky
Oh,
charm.
roll the tape. I don't know about that.
They'll be after you if you choose.
I'm gonna try to steer this ship clear of where it's going right now.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. It cost $100. That's a lot. But I assume you probably get to drink Guinness. This was not on my list, Preston. Was it on yours?
It was down very low. Yeah, it was going to be a deep pick for me, but if only because what I have seen about it is that it's very similar to if you do a brewery tour at like a larger brewery here in like the States.
Mhm.
So
Those are usually pretty fucking fun, though.
Yeah, but they're
Do
for
you
beer I
get
can
free
actually
beer?
drink. Guinness I can't do. Guinness I just can't.
Oh, you both don't like
One
Guinness.
sip of Guinness and you're out. Like,
Yeah, it's
how much
I
can
think-
you really enjoy unlimited Guinness?
Yeah.
Doubt it.
That's true. They are filling, but there are a lot of people that like Guinness, and it's one of the few like alcohol things on the list. I would not have taken it personally. There are lots of things I would have taken beforehand.
Let the listeners decide.
That's all we can do. That is all we can do. But I would be worried. I think the listeners are gonna like gut reaction that and be like, that's like one of the few fun things to do on this list, even if it costs $100. But that's just my worry. That's my worry, Lauren. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay. We come back around to me, and I think with the final pick of the first half of the draft, I'm going to stay on my my theme, which is picking places that are built entirely around just massive international shopping outlets. So I'm taking Champs-Élysées, which is actually the number one thing on this list. I had not heard of it beforehand, I don't believe, but apparently it's just a mile-long list of like massive outlets like Nike and Adidas and Dior and stuff.
All right, we're gonna give the floor to Lauren for an unedited.
The
3-minute.
Champs-Élysées is just, it's the pinnacle of Paris. Like bourgeois.
Oh goodness.
Everything rich French people are.
I think
What's not to love?
Lauren saw this list, and that's the first thing she saw because it is number one, and like I think that strikes her as like the only romantic thing.
That's
on
the
this list.
first place I went when I went to Paris, and it's just beautiful and quintessential Parisian.
Okay, so
it's quintessential Parisian. They have a baby Gap.
If you're not shopping on the Champs-Élysées, what are you doing in Paris?
They're selling like Ferraris and stuff. Like
Who
it's not
cares?
for me.
It's for someone more cultured and sophisticated.
More cultured,
than you.
yeah. Okay.
Here, according to our best life here, it said I've never even heard of Zara. What the hell is Zara? From Zara to Adidas to Cartier and Louis Vuitton, which admittedly at least half of those are French. It's like chain restaurants like McDonald's, Starbucks, Subway. In other words, it contains the same things you'd find literally any other major city on the planet,
Okay.
apart from the Arc de Triomphe, which admittedly
I
is
was
cool.
shopping on the Champs-Élysées as a young teenager, and I went into Zara thinking it was like a boutique French store, and I dropped like $100 on a pair of jeans because I was like, this is the tightest pair of French jeans that I could ever find, and these are amazing. And then I got home and I went back to work at American Eagle, and they were building at North Point Mall in Alpharetta. They put in a Zara, and I was like, God damn it.
See, exactly. You probably could have worked at the American Eagle, which surely was on the Champs-Élysées at the time.
You know what? Had I stayed there, that would have been the dream to transfer over to the Champs-Élysées American Eagle.
To me, it just admittedly, Lauren liked Times Square, but to me, this just seems like a French Times Square is what it seems, or an outdoor Mall of America.
Either
but
get
in
it or you don't.
Yeah, I don't get it, and I'm hoping my vacation so far, which is literally just going places to shop at places you can shop at anywhere in the world, people are gonna like that.
That's pretty good.
So
I want to give Lauren another shot at the French translation of American Eagle. I think she tried and didn't quite land.
We didn't hear it. I don't think.
You go again.
So
Give it one more.
I'm not gonna undermine my 8 years of French language courses.
Okay. Pretty sure you said American Legal.
I'm pretty sure it's no.
Yeah. Okay. Now
I don't know what Eagle is in French.
We'll go to break, and she'll figure it out while we're at break.
Yes, before we do head to break, this is the draft so far. Preston has the Hollywood sign, the red light district in Amsterdam, and the Mona Lisa. Lauren has Graceland. Is it Graceland or Graceland? Graceland.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore and the Guinness Storehouse in Dublin. And then I have the Mall of America, Times Square, and Champs-Élysées. So the whole second half of the draft coming up in just a bit. Okay, Preston, what are we drafting tonight?
And we are drafting the best ways to support the Drafted Podcast. You've got first overall pick. What are you taking?
I have the number one pick. Wow. I mean, what a draft of the number one pick for. This is a no-brainer, Preston. I'm taking the Drafted Patreon. There's no better way to support the show, as you well know.
Yeah, it was clearly the top of my board. It's
Yeah.
such a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can support us for as little as $3 a month. You get secret access to levels of the drafted Discord, where you get access just to me and Preston and the other subscribers and VIPs of the show.
Mhm.
You also get to listen to episodes without this annoying commercial or any other commercial breaks in it, and you get the unedited cut of the pod as well. So, I mean, there really is no better way, both for us and for the listeners, to support the show.
Yeah, if you think we mess up on the cut you hear, oof. Just wait until you get the actual unedited version. It's a good first pick, Dan. For the second pick, I'm gonna take rating us 5 stars on iTunes. Very helpful.
Yeah.
And for my third pick there, I'll say following us on all of our channels, Twitter, Instagram, everything we've got. And I think draft is over, so we'll do my team versus your team.
Yeah, I mean, we got to send it to Twitter, but hey, maybe your vote will count extra too if you support us on Patreon.
I clearly won.
Okay, we're back for the second half of the draft. And now I don't know where to go. I felt good about my first 3 picks. This is similar to last week's draft. I felt great about my first 3 picks, and
Jackson and Braxton.
yeah, and then I couldn't continue my theme anymore, and I panicked a little bit. But I'm going to take Stonehenge.
Wow.
That was on my list.
That was not on my list.
I've seen very few of the places on this list. But everything I've heard about Stonehenge is that it's just so underwhelming. It's just small. There's not really any like history to learn about it. You just kind of go and look at big rocks.
That's the allure, though. There's not any history
Where
did they come from? How did they get there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't find alien rock formations that fascinating.
And rock formations, I think.
How?
On the website.
How is that possible?
I don't know
With
what
how
they do in
big
their
those
spare
rocks
time.
are.
What
Those
else
rocks
are
are
they supposed to
huge.
do?
Those rocks are huge.
What
How can
else would they do? with
mere
their
mortals
time?
get those rocks up there?
No,
I mean,
because-
listen, if you're eliminating the travel, it seems fine. Like everything I've seen about it is that it's so
Okay.
far out of the way of stuff.
But it's just so boring.
Yeah, but like it's not actively bad. Like I'm with you. Times Square is actively bad.
Mhm.
I'm with you on that choice. I think Stonehenge can be interesting and thought-provoking, and it's in a nice open grassland that I'm sure is very pretty.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think your time there would be spent being bored.
Okay.
That's my impression of Stonehenge.
Maybe you lack the imagination.
Maybe so. There are things that humans have constructed, for sure, that evoke an emotional, visceral reaction. And Stonehenge is just not one of those things for me. It's just not. It's just rocks. It's just rocks. And like I think the appeal is that like people are like, why are they here? But now we're like pretty sure that there's some sort of like calendar or weather thing, right? Like, so they don't even really have the appeal of like mystery anymore. They just do absolutely nothing for me. I'm sorry, Stonehenge.
All right. Well,
I agree.
I disagree, but that's
Thank you,
fine.
Lauren. This is great. I thought for sure we would all like agree on what the
No, I'm
first place
surprised.
were, and we do not at all.
That's 2 choices that have not even been on my board.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Mount Rushmore. Just because
You're
I
just-
feel like
you're
they're
just-
I feel like they're underwhelming experiences.
They're both very
feel like
similar.
they're
So that doesn't
negative.
surprise me.
Chris is not going to come for any bit of American history on his list.
Stonehenge is a pinnacle of American history.
Yeah.
That was us. That's the secret. It was us.
Yeah, Dan. No one's ever thought of that before.
I know.
He's broken the truth wide open.
Takes a visionary like me. Follow the money.
It is telling, I think, that you had both those off your list because they do feel very similar to me, and I think that was why I did not pick Mount Rushmore with one of my first 2 picks, because I felt like I get something very similar in Stonehenge a little bit later on.
That's fair.
Although Stonehenge isn't as like grotesque to me as Mount Rushmore nearly, because it's
I mean,
for obvious reasons. But
the thing is like I will always take an underwhelming like park or outdoor experience over a underwhelming like indoor or
that's fair.
commercialized kind of experience.
That's honestly very fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Lauren, you're back up.
What you got?
I'm torn. Should I target Preston or should I go with my gut?
You can see my list. I don't think it's fair if you
No,
just
I'm
outwardly
not. No,
target
I
me.
meant target you personally. Like go after.
Do it.
What I
Oh,
know
that's
you
better.
love.
Oh, that's
Do
better.
it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do
I
it.
think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go with the Liberty Bell.
That's fine.
Is it though?
No, like
Is it fine?
the Liberty Bell, I actually do think, despite my love of history, just can't. It can't be anything. There's no reason you would go see
so
it.
here's the thing. It's in Philadelphia, right?
Yes.
Right. Before I continue, right? It is.
No,
right?
no. It's
It is
in
Philadelphia.
Reno, Nevada. The famous
Okay, I know we're
birthplace.
taking travel out of this, but like, sorry to Craig, your friend Craig.
No,
but,
go in. Go in.
Nobody wants to go to Philadelphia.
Get
I'm
them.
sorry.
Let's go.
So
Philly's
you
garbage.
go all the way to Philadelphia to look at, and I've been to the Liberty Bell, and if I am not mistaken, no,
You've
I
been to
am
the Liberty
mistaken.
Bell?
I have, yes. So I always, it makes me think of the How I Met Your Mother episode where they go to lick the Liberty Bell.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that has to be the most exciting thing you could do because there's nothing else exciting about visiting the Liberty Bell.
Yeah,
And you're like, you look at it and you're like, oh, the crack.
I know.
Like who?
If
What
you
is who even? No offense,
Yeah.
but like, who cares?
if you were an American history buff going to Philadelphia, that would be like the 8th coolest thing you could see.
What is the historical significance of the Liberty Bell? I don't even remember.
I really don't even know. Come on, Preston. Don't you work in politics?
I
Are
forgot.
you even American?
Yeah.
I think the significance is that it's made out of the same things we make pennies
Well, what's
out of
the
now.
crack in there for? I'll do a little quick
They rang it
Google.
too hard.
They rang it
for-
too hard for what?
Their liberty
For what?
wrung out too fiercely.
Tours and tickets. Why would you need a ticket or a tour to look at a bell with a crack in it?
It's not even a.
I assume the tour is of like the building where the Liberty Bell
Independence Hall?
was hung.
The white.
Was it? I think it was hung at
Chapel
Independence
Factory.
Hall.
I don't even
Which
know.
Independence Hall is cool, but it didn't say Independence Hall on the sheet. It said the Liberty.
No, it's
So like
Liberty Bell.
specifically this is
Yeah.
is a good pick.
I think more importantly, Lauren has now absolutely nuclear bombed 3 cities in this episode. Los Angeles. What was the second one? What was the second one? Memphis. Yes, thank you. Los Angeles, Memphis, and now Philadelphia.
To be fair, Memphis didn't have a lot going for it before Lauren started going in. So
Wow. What was this Memphis hit? Is there like some sort of weird rivalry between Atlanta and Memphis? This is unbelievable.
It's
No.
just gross.
it's just not. It's not.
Wow.
It's just
not ideal. Like if
not
you're gonna
it.
go anywhere in Tennessee, don't go there.
Don't go there.
Unbelievable.
Chattanooga is where it's at.
Chattanooga is the spot.
Okay. If you say so. I mean, the Philadelphia one really surprises me. Philadelphia seems like a really cool city.
All right. Well, then I take out what I said about Philadelphia, and I'm
No, it's too late. It's too late.
It's a big hunk of copper that you can't touch or lick.
Okay, so how much better would the Liberty Bell be if you could touch it?
I'm pretty sure I did touch it.
A little bit. Well, you should not admit to a federal crime on our
Is it a
podcast.
federal crime?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
She said it as a joke.
Is it a federal crime if you lick it?
Wink. She said it as a joke. Wink. We gotta say wink for the listeners because they can't see us.
I stand by what I said. It's boring. Boring.
All right.
Snooze.
I got back-to-backs here.
Dang.
You do.
So I have some that I like know would be bad, but I don't think are very well known to people or our
Mhm.
listeners.
hmm
I think okay, stick to my personal convictions here. I'm gonna take the sacred monkey forest of Bali.
I didn't even
'Cause-
know what that was, and it has monkeys in it though.
But here's the thing about the monkeys that are in the sacred monkey forest. They freaking come at you.
Apparently,
Like,
they attack people.
I saw footage of this. I don't remember what I was watching, but like some people had the same thing. Like, oh, we'll go and it'll be fun. They know that you're there to feed them and they hurt you. They come and they like pull on your hair and pull on your ears until they get off.
You're making the argument that the Pig Island guy made.
But he was wrong.
Yeah, but how do you know that he's not wrong about the monkeys too?
I've seen it on video. I've seen people just be attacked by these monkeys.
What kind of monkeys are they?
They're like baboons, right?
Baboons.
They are not baboons in Bali, sir.
Oh, sorry.
wrong. You uncultured
What
swine.
kind of monkeys are they? I have no idea. They're the kind that like to steal things from people because that's what they do.
All the monkeys.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems it seems rough. Dan, are you with me or not?
I'm not with you on them being baboons, but I am with you. It does seem like the monkeys get a little violent towards humans, and I think that's, I would guess, probably a rare occurrence. I would have to guess where people wouldn't go, at least not in such large numbers. But yeah, I mean, if you go and you're savagely attacked by a monkey, that would probably be a pretty bad time.
That'd be a bad time.
I don't
Exactly.
know. That's more exciting than like standing in front of a hunk of copper.
That's true. It probably would be a great story. This could be a type 2 fun, like where
I was attacked by monkeys.
Yeah,
What a story.
It's a great story. This is true. It's a really good point by Lauren. Miserable at the time, but like after the fact, and like what kind of fun story are you going to get about the Liberty Bell, Preston? Literally all you're going to say is I saw it. The crack is really there. You get attacked by monkeys. That's a story you tell for the rest of your life,
Yeah, you tell it the rest of your life with your one good eye.
Worth it, I think.
All right. Well, I'm going to take one that I feel strongly about that I had not heard of it before I looked at this list, which is the silk market of Beijing. I'm taking this for a similar reason that you've taken a couple picks, Dan. The description of this on the site describes it as like, what are those, if you go to like New York, you can buy like a Gucci handbag that's like not really a Gucci handbag. It's just a mall full of those, but none of the prices are set. So you have to do all haggling. And you end up, if you go in and you're American, you can be pressured by people and end up spending like way more money than stuff usually goes for. And like that kind of like social anxiety and pressure is not what you want on a vacation.
I'm with you.
That's like, you're not going to have a good experience there.
Also, just like, why would you want all that counterfeit stuff?
I know.
I don't get it.
Here's the description on the website. Because the vendors know their audience, aka international tourists, they jack up the prices. If you're great at haggling, you can make out like a bandit here. But if your bargaining skills aren't up to speed, you'll pay far more than what the items are worth, and you'll leave feeling incredibly ripped off. It's not what I want. Not only is it shopping, but it's shopping where you're getting bad stuff.
It is weird. It seems like a very weird place. I don't quite know why it exists, other than the fact that people doing it make lots of money, seemingly.
Yeah, which is why most places exist.
I never understood.
Moving on.
That's true. Unfortunately true. All right, Lauren, it's time for your penultimate pick.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna go Little Venice, Mykonos.
I had this on my list.
This became like the ultimate tourist destination, and like I myself was like, oh my god, I have to get to Greece. Like this place looks amazing. And then I took a dive into the TikTok world of what it is actually like when you go there, and it is traumatizing how many
what happens
are on. So it's like those like white houses on the cliffs of the Mediterranean, and there's like
very pretty.
Billions of people stacked on the roofs of these houses, like waiting to get their selfie. And like that, I cannot with the tourist attractions where you have to wait in line to take a picture of yourself that looks like you're by yourself, but really there's a million people behind you. I can't. No, I can't.
So here's my argument against this pick. And I think it's a small one, but I think it's important. There is no amount of money that makes going to the Hollywood sign worth it. It's still the same Hollywood sign. If you are absurdly wealthy, you can rent out your own space in Mykonos and like have your own private area where those people you're talking about can't get to. You can have your own space. On the public walkways, yes, you are still totally screwed. But like if you buy a nice room, you're good, which is not the same as some of these other things.
I watch the Kardashians religiously, and even they could not escape the paparazzi in Mykonos.
It is true, but when they would like go into the pool and stuff, they were all by themselves, and they had a nice space.
Not worth it. First of all, if you're going to be with that many people, you're going to get pushed off the edge of a cliff. Like
it is true. It does look very dangerous.
It's dangerous. Have you seen Mamma Mia?
I mean, yeah. What happens in Mamma Mia?
Just have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen. What does Mamma Mia have to do
unrelated?
What doesn't it have to do with?
I don't remember the scene in Mamma
Best
Mia
argument
where
I could come up with.
one of the potential
Why
dads
would you
gets
want to
pushed
go
off the
anywhere
cliffs.
near there?
I don't understand the point you're making as it relates to Mamma Mia, but we can.
I think it was a phenomenal closing argument from Lauren, and we should just move on.
Okay.
All right, it's my final two picks. And with my first one, I'm going to take Checkpoint Charlie in Berlin.
This is a great choice.
I saw that. I didn't know what it was, and I moved on.
Basically, it's like an ode to a really dark time in history, which feels very strange to me.
And
that it's
time that isn't.
romanticized.
It's not far enough in the past where it can be
Yeah.
able to go visit yet. Like
What
it's
is
still very. It's a remaining checkpoint of the Berlin Wall, which was not that long ago.
Yeah,
and it really is
basically
just like a road checkpoint, and that's it. There's like nothing there. There's a McDonald's like 20 feet from where it
But
is.
the website said it was fake.
Well,
fake in the sense of like it's not real American soldiers or whatever. Like
Aren't they statues?
no, they're real people, but they're like employees of the monument.
they're actors.
Oh, like the people that turn themselves silver and stand on a pedestal to make it look like they're a statue?
Yes, except
Kind of
turning themselves into American soldiers.
I would say more like if you've ever like historical reenactors, like if you've ever gone to like a historical site where the people that are in period clothing,
people there just like standing there.
Yeah,
Why?
basically, yeah, beats me.
I don't fully understand the purpose of the.
Are they supposed to be
monument.
Charlie?
Well, Checkpoint Charlie was like a nickname for the
Charlie?
people that oversaw the checkpoints. Like if you were trying to go from the communist Russian-controlled half of Berlin outside to the free half of Berlin. And so to me, it just feels like a very odd thing to memorialize in this way, and to like for people to like sneak out and be like, oh yeah, remember when the city was split in half because the communists got to control half of Berlin? And it just, I don't know, it just seems
like
very
us
weird.
having like a Civil War reenactment on the Mason-Dixon line.
which we do every year. So like clockwork. I mean, it's weirder to me because it is
But we
stationed.
charge for it.
It is stationed as an American checkpoint in between. It's like it's in the middle of a street. It is in the middle of a road in between a McDonald's and like a store.
Mm-hmm.
And there are American flags flying on it. And I'm sure it's just very strange. I would imagine
Does America
if
know
I was
about that?
if I was a native of Berlin, it would just be weird.
I would hate it.
It would be super strange to me to have this thing like reminding me of the time. It's almost like America saying like, you're welcome. Like it's just that. And I kind of hate it. So I think it's a good point.
If it's like a German thing or an American.
It must be a German thing. It must
gotta be.
But it just seems very odd to me. And it has like an American theme, and I'm kind of going for the most American things. Because I think my American audience isn't going to see any like exoticism in it, so that's basically why I take it here. This is tough now with my last pick. I have two things that I am down to, and one of them I have done. One of them is the one thing I have done on this list, but I feel like people will disagree with me on it.
I think I have a guess for the one thing you've done on this list.
And I think I will leave that thing for the post-draft discussion. And I will take Harbor Bridge in Sydney, which apparently costs $260 to do like the touristy thing on it, which is walking on it. So you pay $260 to walk up a bunch of steps.
Walk on a bridge?
Yeah, which seems absolutely. I think you could like walk to like the top of it, is my guess. So like you get to like
it's
walk
like an
up
observatory.
top. Yeah. But it's obscenely expensive. And if you're like not into heights at all, it is not for you. Right. And also it just seems like you're basically paying out the ass to walk up a bunch of steps.
It's also, it seems to me, as bridges go, as an American, not that impressive.
Pretty insignificant bridge.
It seems like a fine bridge, but it seems like if the person who built that went to Golden Gate, they'd be like, oh.
We don't charge anybody to go on our bridges.
Yeah. People go on our bridges all the time because that's what they're for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks very nice, but I had this on my list very high too because it's just a bridge.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, honestly, if it didn't cost $160, it would have been nowhere near my list. But to charge that much to walk on a bridge is ridiculous.
it's like paying to go into the Coke Museum.
but then having to walk every single step in the Coke Museum.
Having to bottle the Coke
it's
for them.
only a ripoff if you don't drink $35 worth of Coke when you leave.
It's true. And we did.
Which
We
we
definitely
did.
did do that. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Lauren, what's your final selection of the worst vacation draft?
Okay. For my final, I am going to take it to San Francisco and say Lombard Street. The only thing that could make traffic in California worse.
Zigzagging it.
Zigzagging down. Why is my ultimate question. Why?
I think
that city is hard enough to navigate. Why?
I will say I think the picture is very cool. Like it's just cool visually to see that street. But the point they make on the website is that on Best Life, I should clarify, is that like you're never gonna get to see it in this way because it's so busy and crowded. So like basically you're just seeing like a crowd of people in the city, which seems
so I've been there
boring.
And I saw it, and it is a street. I don't understand. I don't know. Like maybe if you would take 3 hours out of your life to drive down it, if maybe that would be fun. It's going to be a no for me. There's so many other things, you know, there's like sea lions and the Ghirardelli chocolate factory and clam chowder. Why would I do traffic?
Wait, is clam chowder a San Francisco thing?
It is.
Oh, I always think of like
New
Boston.
England.
Yeah.
They literally have, it's some kind of chowder.
Let's see.
They have a whole.
I don't think clam chowder is a California thing.
They have a whole chowder area where you can get chowder in a bread bowl.
Let's see. I'm googling it.
It's a real thing.
Really?
I don't know if it's
Fisherman's Wharf
Fisherman's
chowder. But what kind of chowder is it? It does seem to be
I
clam
don't know
chowder.
any other
It does seem to be
chowder.
clam chowder.
Chowder.
Is San Francisco known for clam chowder?
See, told you.
San Francisco is famous for a number of iconic dishes, and clam chowder is among our favorites. That's according to San Francisco
Clam
Travel.
chowder will not hold up if you try to drive down Lombardi Street.
Lombardi Street.
Vince Lombardi.
Lombard Street.
This
He's
is
from California, right?
no. This is Daniel. This is the thing I was predicting you had actually done out of this list.
Oh, really? Oh no.
You've
I
ever
thought
been to
you
Lombard
had
Street?
been to San Francisco for maybe some frisbee stuff and had done.
I've been to San Jose, but never San Fran.
Okay. I'm still guessing then. I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Well, that's my pick.
Okay. It is a weird one. I had never heard of it before this list, so but I guess it is famous.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean I still think it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see because you just don't usually see like squiggly little streets in a major city like that, and it is kind of like a.
But I
cool
think there's a
Why
reason
go
for
there when you could go to the Full House?
Could go to.
But being honest, I think I would rather see the street than the Full House.
Most people do.
All right, Preston, what is the last pick of the draft?
The last pick of the worst vacation destinations draft is mannequin piss. The little boy taking a wee into a fountain in Brussels. I mean, what more is there to say?
I think this has ironic value, honestly.
It better have a
It's
lot.
like the European version of that bumper sticker that we all have on our trucks here in America.
Of the Calvin.
The Calvin.
The Calvin.
Oh yeah, the
Girl.
Calvin peeing. Yeah, exactly. It's that, but a statue where it's so overcrowded you can't even get anywhere near it. Too many people want to look at this boy peeing into the fountain.
Yeah, it is weird.
Very
It is
strange.
very weird.
And there's so much stuff you could do on this list. You could go to any beach in the world almost on this list, and instead you went to go see mannequin piss.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I do think it has a bit of ironic charm because it's just so absurd. It's such a weird thing, like to
Is there
be
plaque or
famous.
anything that says why he's pissing in the fountain?
There is, I'm sure, but I can't remember what it is. I can't remember. Now I'm not seeing it on the list. Oh, here it is.
Number 10.
translates to little man urinating.
Yep.
Says it's in the town center though, so like you don't have to go out of your way to see it. It's right there.
I mean, we're talking about these attractions, like these things. Like one of the things we're gonna see on our vacation is mannequin piss, the little boy peeing into the fountain. And you're gonna be
That's
like,
true.
wow.
You are going out of your way to see it. I
Yeah,
think is
that's
like
the whole point of
the
this. You
assumed
definitely are.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I can't say that I would put that.
You want to see the little boy peeing?
No,
It's not a real little boy,
I'm
to
agreeing
clarify.
with you. That would not be on my trip itinerary in Brussels.
Okay, good.
I think I had it on my list. I think it's a fine pick. There was really only one thing I had above it, which we can get to in the second half of the show. But these are the teams that the draft is completed. Preston has the Hollywood sign, the Red Light District of Amsterdam, the Mona Lisa, the Sacred Monkey Forest. Was that in Bali, I believe?
Yes.
The Silk Market of Beijing and Mannequin Piss. Lauren has Graceland, Mount Rushmore, the Guinness Storehouse in Dublin, the Liberty Bell, Little Venice and Mykonos, and Lombard Street in San Francisco. And then I have the Mall of America, Times Square, Champs-Élysées, Stonehenge, Checkpoint Charlie, and Harbor Bridge in Sydney. Of course, we have so much more to discuss after another quick break.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite host here to ask you on behalf of the Appen Podcast Network, our parent network, to go check out some of their other shows. I'm partial to the Georgia Politics Podcast. I'm a host there every week. We play games at the end of every episode, trivia, great way to stay in touch with local issues going on here in Georgia, but we also touch on national things too. Would really appreciate if you come give us a listen. Check out everything the Appen Podcast Network has going on at appenmedia.com, APPENMEDIA.com.
Okay, as always, I start this part of the show with the same question I want to hear from both of y'all. What was the worst pick of the draft?
Easy.
Oh, hit us.
Uncultured swine.
Uncultured swine, she says.
The thing is, I feel like that's not a valid argument, Lauren, because I feel like this is the least Parisian culture you can do in Paris.
I'm not saying it's like prime Parisian culture.
Okay, wait. You literally said when he took it, this is the center of Paris. You were like, this is the best part of Paris.
I said
You did.
it was the bourgeoisie.
That is true. She bougie. She did say it was the most
Aren't
bougie.
those the people that they put inside the guillotine
Yes.
and drop the rope?
But they're ultimately the people that Paris is modeled after. So I just think it's a beautiful place. And if you have to accept the ambiance of Paris as it is.
I think the worst pick was Mykonos, because if you are a rich person, you can have a very fine experience. in
Okay, we
Mykonos.
didn't go into this saying that you had billions of dollars to spend on your vacation. Like if I had that much money, I could also fly up the nose of Thomas Jefferson on Mount Rushmore.
You definitely could not.
It's too small for that. It's way too
I could
small.
take my helicopter and go to the top of the mountain you said I couldn't go to the top of.
I mean, I'm waiting for your argument about how being rich would help any of the things that I picked or Daniel picked, because I do think it's a legit argument to say
Times
that.
Square? Are you kidding me? You could rent that penthouse hotel room at the top of the ball and just like look at Times Square without having to touch anybody.
I think if you're rich, it makes any of the shopping places a lot more fun.
I guess
Yeah.
that's true.
Mall of
It
America.
doesn't make Silk Market more fun
No.
because there's no legitimate product there, right? Like, isn't that the implication? It's where you go to buy
rich people
knockoffs and
wouldn't
stuff.
go there.
Right.
Yeah, probably not. I think the worst pick was the Guinness Storehouse.
Are you a Guinness drinker?
No. I just think people are going to see this list of like mostly lame things and then see something that they associate with being a brewery and think, oh, that's fun. Why would you not take that? Or why would you take that in this list?
If you're going to Ireland, though, like if you're going to Ireland and your number one pick is to go to the Guinness Storehouse, like.
But no one's saying that though. No, all we're saying is of these things, the things that are like the least fun to do on vacation. I think of all the things that are here, I would have the most fun at the Guinness Brewery.
I think I'm kind of with you actually. It would be kind of neat, but I don't like Guinness.
Think of how sick you would get though. Think of if you went there in like July and you drank all that Guinness and then it like bubbled in your stomach and it peed. And then you had to like go through the rolling hills of Ireland back to your hotel or your Airbnb.
Ugh.
Come on now.
Ugh. It doesn't sound
It's
right.
sickening. It's so heavy.
I mean, it is heavy. It's not my beer of choice, but I don't dislike it like you guys do. So I definitely would have a good time there. And even still, I think third round is just even if you think it's bad, it just feels very early to me. But
Yeah.
like I think you have to factor into the perception of it is going to be from others, And like I think most people don't hate Guinness. I think most people are gonna be like, oh, fun beer, like where the beer is from. That's kind of fun.
I just don't consider that like a beer to be drunk at like a brewery experience.
That's fair. I mean, I enough people disagree with you. That lots of people go there, I'm sure. So that's what I'm banking on. That's why I think it was not my favorite pick.
Fair enough.
What was something that you had on your list, and for whatever reason you ended up not being able to draft? You like ran out of room, or you diverged your strategy? What was something you wanted to take going into the process and just ended up not doing so?
Okay, I had Christ the Redeemer in what is it?
Rio de Janeiro. Yeah.
He's eliminated 3 cities from listenership. Now let's go for an
I'm
entire
not
religious.
coming from Rio de Janeiro.
No, I was saying all of Christianity.
Okay, well, I could, but I won't.
I would have less problems with that than alienating the
Just
city.
saying, we're gonna make this it's a boring statue that you can't even access thing.
It
I
is
didn't know
very
that.
high. I was looking at that too. It does seem like very high. to
And
get
they
to.
do say that most days you can't see it.
Yeah, because it's smoggy or whatever.
Yeah.
I will say I think you were smart not to take it, Lauren, because I do think of people like that does seem to me on paper like one of the cooler things on
I
the
mean,
list.
sure, like think of how many like movies it's used in and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I get it, it's iconic, but like
Yeah.
realistically, if I'm going to Rio de Janeiro, like why would I'll see that from the plane.
Sure. I think it's smart to save that for this part of the show and not draft it. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
What about you, Preston?
I didn't really have anything I felt passionately about. The Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen seems super weird.
I think that would be kind of cute though.
If you look at an actual picture of it though, like not one from a magazine where you can see the other side of it, there are just giant factories that are like billowing out
Oh yeah.
behind it. And almost every picture I saw on it was vandalized. Apparently the population of Copenhagen vandalizes it to protest things like
Does not
the
like
government
it.
in Hong Kong kind of stuff. So like, I don't know, it seems neat, but like very weird. It's also like 3 feet tall. So in terms of like super remarkable things, it was pretty low down on my list.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't have it on my list as things to draft for this draft. For me, it was the Alamo. That's the one thing I've been to, and have you guys been to the Alamo?
No.
It's extraordinarily boring.
Really?
It's so boring. It's like it's teeny tiny, and it's just boring.
Do you think if they like had a different management come in, it could be interesting? Or do you think just inherently it's a boring place?
I think it's a boring place. I like
Maybe for like the people of Texas.
yeah. If you're like a Texas kind of guy,
You're like
then you
that.
probably get really amped about like like I feel like the whole story of the Alamo is overrated. Like they didn't even fucking win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole story of the Alamo is like this whole overblown thing in the lore of Texas, which is an overrated state. All right, we're gonna alienate an entire
Talk
state.
about alienating
Woo!
people.
Yeah. I don't care. You know what? Florida. I'm from Florida. Florida gets all the shit. Texas should be on the same level as Florida, as like the fucked up
Texas is
state.
on the same level of Florida.
But people don't talk about it. People don't talk about it like it is, and they should. Texas. I've had it up to here with Texas.
I have a little debate for you guys that I wanted to bring up, and I'm surprised nobody brought it up. What are thoughts on Niagara Falls?
That
that
is
is
very
on-
pretty.
I agree. I went there a couple years ago and it was lovely.
I was surprised to see it on this list because I've been there and I thought it was great.
Now they did say that this particular list said it was the New York side that they were trashing,
Which is worse.
yes. And
If you go to the
I
Canada
went-
side,
I
it's
went
much
to
better.
the Canadian side, but
Yeah.
I thought it was breathtaking. I thought it was lovely.
Yeah, there were a couple things on this list that I feel like didn't belong, and that was one of them.
Like the Champs-Elysees.
I agree with you on Niagara Falls. I was never going to draft it for this draft. That seems like Preston alluded to it earlier, but any like the nature things, I was probably never going to take. For
They also have Hobbiton.
I was just about to ask you about that.
So like,
Personally attacked.
here's the thing about this particular attraction. If you are going to it, like whether or not you're going to have a good time. Like it's specifically designed to not be for everybody. It's not like a Stonehenge where it's ambiguous enough where anybody could be recommended to go there. No, it's so unique to a certain thing that if you go there, you're probably going to like it. Like, I don't know why you would call it overrated if it's designed for a specific audience.
Well, my question was, because the way it's framed in the article is that it seems like it might be disappointing even for hardcore Lord of the Rings.
And I'm sure it is. I have often thought that like part of me wants to go to New Zealand because I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but the movies are shot in a way that layers different parts of New Zealand on top of each other. So I actually am not sure New Zealand would live up to what the movies portray it as. I'm sure that's part of it here. What I did think was funny though is the detracting argument they made against it on the website is they said those Hobbit houses are completely man-made. As if they would have been made by actual hobbits.
They're not even real hobbits.
They're not even real hobbit houses.
No,
Why would you even go?
I think to give them the benefit out, I think the framing of that was more meant to be like, you're not actually seeing any kind of like attraction or wonder. Like you're seeing like a pure tourist trap, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is where they shot it. So like that part's kind of neat.
But I think their complaint was that you can't like go into them and interact.
There is
one
you can go into and have a like big kind of shepherd's pie style meal
what are they
with like a pint
complaining
and
about?
stuff. I don't know, it just seems fine. Most of them, the doors don't even like open, but that's because
Yeah.
it was designed as the set for the movies, and they've just kind of left the set as it was. I don't know. I'm not saying I would recommend it to everybody. All I'm saying is if you saw it and you were like, I want to go there, then I would imagine it might be a little disappointing, but also like you wanted to go there because you like the idea of it and the place of it. Like, I don't think Daniel would want to go there.
No.
Right. So like, it feels like you're making a pretty clear decision about whether or not it's worth it to you.
That's fair. That's a fair argument. All right. If there's nothing else we need to discuss, it's time for the final question of the show. Who drafted the worst vacation? And then, of course, if you think you drafted the worst vacation, then who got second place?
I think it pains me to say it a second week in a row, but I think Daniel got the best of us this episode. Again, the first three picks combo seems so miserable to me. And I think there are some redeeming things you could argue about either my list or Lauren's list. You could go to the Sacred Monkey Forest and maybe it would be fun.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like running the gambit. And maybe if you're really into weird stuff, the red light district might be kind of cool for you. But I don't know that there is a lot of redeeming stuff about Daniel's list, except for Stonehenge. I feel like Stonehenge gets a lot of hate. I mean, like, listen, it's fine. Use your imagination. Don't be such a bummer.
Preston's ideal vacation is Stonehenge and then Mount Rushmore.
I mean, it would be an interesting day. Listen, I think it would be fine.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm too much of a shopper to go with Daniel's list.
That's fair.
Shopping is just one of the best parts of vacation.
Best parts.
I get the sense that Lauren and I are just very different vacationers.
It's
Very
fine.
different.
It's
We'll
fine.
find out in a couple of weeks, won't we?
Well, we've been on
I
vacation
can't-
together, Lauren.
I can't assume that your listeners will agree with me on the shopaholic viewpoint.
Mhm.
But I can't support that. I don't know. Did you pick Times Square too?
I
Or
did.
did Preston pick that?
I took that.
Okay, no, I can't. Champs-Elysees and Times Square. Come on. I mean, like, they're quintessential for the cities that they're in.
They are tourist traps. It's like kind of the whole point of what we're doing.
Ah,
Like they're designed to be tourist
then I'm a
traps.
tourist, okay?
They lure you in like a fly to the ointment, and then they
Alright,
say, buy this thing.
Then I'm the fly.
It's okay to be the fly.
That's fine. So are you picking your list then? Is that
I
what we
mean,
are
I
to
don't
believe?
want to be that guy. but
No, no,
okay.
it's fine. Most of
Well-
our guests are that guy. It's fine.
Well, Lauren, that's fine, but you have to pick a second place. Can you separate me and Preston for second
I'll
place?
have to go with Preston. Mostly just because, like, I mean, the Hollywood sign is absolute trash. That was going to be my number one pick. The Mona Lisa was on my list for worst parts of Paris. Silk Market, I can't imagine why anyone would go to anywhere where all they're selling is fake stuff. The only, bone I have to pick with yours is the monkeys could potentially be fun, but you've got a good list there. I'm not going to lie.
This is tough. I'm definitely taking myself first. I mean, like, there weren't really any moments where it felt like we were stealing each other's picks. So I think it's not surprising that, we would all kind of lean towards our own teams here. But this is hard for me to separate the two of you because both of you have a couple of things that I think could have high highs. And that was kind of my thought process for this. It's like, how do I keep the potential for a good time as low as possible? You know what I mean?
There is no redeeming quality here.
Yeah. And like with Preston, I think the red light district, if you go in with the right group or mentality, could be a good time. I also agree. I think the monkeys could maybe be a good time. The problem with Lauren's is I think the Guinness Storehouse could be a really good time, albeit expensive. And I think Mykonos could also be an incredible time if you do it right. I understand like the crowd argument, but it just seems like a fucking beautiful place where if you can find some sort of break from the oppressive crowds, then you could just enjoy the beauty of it. So I think for that, I think the potential high of Lauren's vacation is slightly higher than Preston's, so therefore I have to take Preston's as my second worst vacation.
Wow, I got picked as both of your second choice, and I did not pick my own team.
That's true. That is true. That is funny.
Maybe I should stick up for myself a little better, or maybe I should just answer last next time.
Man.
You could. Well, I feel like I always enter last because I ask the questions.
That's
fair. But yeah, I'll try to mix it up for you next time, so you can snipe yourself in.
I want to game it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Of course, though, it always comes down to the Twitter vote. You're the only voice that actually matters, Twitter. So please be sure to vote over at DraftedPod on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening this week. Thanks so much, Lauren, for joining us this week. Lauren, I don't think. Do you have anything like to promote? I know you're coming.
My apologies to the cities of Los Angeles
And Philadelphia.
And Philadelphia. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, Lauren, I know you are a teacher coming to the end of your school year. Is there anything that we can do to like support teachers in the state of Georgia or anything like that?
Shout out to all my teachers. You know what, guys? Just
vote
go
for better people.
vote.
Vote for better people.
You zip it. Y'all go vote on Tuesday. Come on now.
There you go. Vote Tuesday's perfect because that's when the podcast comes.
Yeah,
out.
if you live in Georgia and
Yes.
you're listening to this on release day, get your butt up and go do something.
And listen, drafted listeners love voting, so go do it where it most counts.
This is true.
I think that's the best promo we've had in the history of the show. Of course, please support us on Patreon. That really means a lot. Join the discussion in Discord. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. You guys know all of that. We say it every week. But for Preston and myself, we will talk to y'all next week.
Peace and blessings.